again, the connections people make with why they're exercise, going back to the checking the box and why am I doing what I'm doing? And a lot of people get into exercise because they want to look and feel better, right? For whatever the reason. And then there's layers to all of that. And the connection that you have to something bigger than that. And so I'll drop another name. That's Jacob Hepner, a good friend of mine. I work with him over with the In Extremis Performance crew. And for those people that have been around the CrossFit world a long time, or even the tactical games world, and now the comp shooting world, they'll know who Jacob is. And he's got this really great gym on his property, and he invites people in to work out there. He's not the guy doing all the programming for them or whatever, but he's very specific about who he lets in. He's like, I need you to have a goal bigger than what's happening here in this building, right? And what is that? And why are you coming here every day? What's the larger connection to the thing? And if you ask Jacob, I just told you, and kind of getting into the things that he does, like it's never been the same thing all the time. What I'm getting at there is there's some foundational things, and you just kind of brought some of those things up, and we can kind of highlight them, but there's some foundational things you need to have in order to be able to do all these different things. Yeah. And a lot of that is what happens in the gym. Working out in the gym doesn't make you a better basketball player. It prepares you to do the things on the basketball court that would make you a better basketball player. I like that. Right. Yeah. And enjoy doing it and be resilient and, decrease your risk of injuries in some cases. And however you're prioritizing those things in your life or what your connection to it is. The point being is people will set goals and they think that's their goal, and with no thinking about like how this goal might change, or more specifically, how it can change, how you should want to change it as you achieve new things and explore all these different stuff. If you're never exploring the expression of the things that you're building right in the gym, you'll never know. And how much are you missing out on? Again, like going back to like whether it's snowboarding or surfing or mountain biking or hiking or running, which I don't like doing, but I've actually started sprinting more as I'm prepping for a specific thing that's coming up here. Like I'm going, man, this is fun. I miss this. I'm not very good at it right now, right? I actually love that. I love that I'm not good at it because I can measure things, I can manage things, and I can explore different angles of things. And I'm never not one time. Now, I am aware of how to do that properly. And when I say properly, I just mean in a framework that could help me, again, stay more resilient, recover properly in between the sessions that I'm doing to avoid overuse injuries, and also being aware of the things that I already have on board. I'm already bringing to the table in terms of liability, in a sense, where my weak points are and whatever. So I'm able to handle that. But when I'm in the gym, I'm making that connection, and the exploring this stuff and being willing to put myself in these uncomfortable, again, situations of maybe like I'm doing this thing that's a little bit outside my wheelhouse, but I'm really encouraged to do it because it's outside my wheelhouse. Right. And having that motivation, which then gets me into the gym. And this is a thing that'll be happening in a couple of months, actually a little less than that now when we're recording this. But after that, like I'm thinking beyond that, how do I then leverage that, what I built to maybe try and or do something different? And more specifically, like if I don't have that idea, right, I don't know what that is, but I know the work that I'm putting in, I would like to maintain for a little while. And it doesn't mean I completely upset the apple cart in the gym, going back to what Steven was saying about like, I didn't pick a program that was completely outside of what I was already typically doing, which to your point, and this is the points I wanted to highlight, is there's foundations you need to have here. Strength is important, right? For any athletic or physical endeavor. Foundations of your program for both health, fitness, and performance should be rooted in a very strong connection to your strength training program. How much strength do you need to build? How strong do you need to be? Like that's relative, right? And where do you need to be strong there? And what are the foundational principles that you're applying within the framework of strength and strength training to be able to do that? Then there's the conditioning side. How much conditioning do I really need? Like I always think having a certain amount of conditioning is important. I'm recognizing that I am not conditioned for some of the things that I'm doing, and I'm having to build that back. So that's actually changing my focus a little bit, and it's fun, right? I'm playing a little bit with exploring things I haven't done in a long time. I'm running more than I did, but I'm not going out to run 5Ks. I hate that. Yeah. I'll be able to do that if I need or wanted to. I know through the pathway I'm going through with a little effort and a little adjustment to the programming that I'm going through, but it's deeply rooted in some basic strength and conditioning that happens, yes, in the gym, and then I can express that in these other things that I'm doing. And again, back to Steven's point, it doesn't mean I need to go out and hire a basketball coach to get better at playing basketball. That's or a basketball specific, coach in strength and conditioning coach in order to get there. Because any basketball focused strength and conditioning coach is going to be rooting their program in the basic foundations of strength and conditioning. Those things never change. There's basic principles there we don't want to violate. However, as you start to explore and start to advance and level up, or maybe even have a few setbacks, there are things that can be applied to help you be better. And that, again, that mindset is important, not just for the event or the athletic endeavor that you're exploring here or wanting to get involved in, but for life, right? Because those are the things that are going to help you stay alive longer, to be able to do the basic stuff, getting off the floor, right? Like you said, or getting down into and out of off the toilet, for God's sakes, or something like that, where we see people struggling with that stuff. Yeah. And going back to the mindset, how much of that mindset has now put you in that situation later in life where you missed out on all these other things because you already made up your mind that that's dangerous.
Well, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Prepared for it,
self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. You're just you think you're unprepared for it, so then you don't do it, so then you're unprepared for it.
And you become unprepared.
It's a self-fulfilled prophecy as you've kind of stated there. So again, just like from a higher arching perspective, is like if you haven't done these things in a long time and you're at that point in life where you recognize like, shit, I'm really inactive, right? As compared to where I was. Look, 2 days a week is better than no days a week. 3 days a week is better than 2. 4 days a week is better than 3. 5 days a week, we're starting to ride the edge of how much is too much, kind of thing. And 6, and then obviously 7. And what am I doing to recover? And how am I applying all this stuff? People get way too far down the outcomes path than they do in the process path. If you had a well-developed process to get to where you wanted to, once that process is set and you understand it, it's very maintainable or sustainable. And then these other things that you may want to do are not so hard to then make adjustments to, because you have this foundation to come back to. And to your point, Stephen, a lot of people will just go back to whatever the foundation was at the beginning. But the reality of it is there wasn't a good foundation there in the first place. They just were at a point in life where they were a little bit more resilient. They had a little bit more strength. They had a little less liability. They had more time on their hands or whatever. So they just did the thing. And that provided them the only success that they know. And so whatever that is, like I did run marathons, I did run half marathons. So like, I just need to go back to what I was doing now. Well, if that was 10, 15 years ago, dude, you're a different dude, man. Like a much different dude. So there has to be a process to this that supports the athletic endeavor of going out and joining an adult basketball league. If you've been sitting on the couch, right, and you're looking to lose some weight, be more active, be more social, whatever, I don't suggest you run out and join a basketball league.